Okay, I'm going to try to do brief because I only have so much time. Kind of a brief playing analysis of Blue Bossa for the, I can't remember what thread it was, the interactive, whatever thread that was, while the reg started. Anyway, if you look at the tune, the key signature says E flat major, right? E flat major 7. The tune's in C minor, 1, 7, 6, natural minor. Okay, the melody. Anyway, the melody tells you that that's natural minor. Same collection of notes, but starting on F, Dorian, major 6. And it says 5, 1, right? Or 2, 5, 1. 2 points. When you have a 2, 5 in jazz going to a 1, the 2, 5 is thought of as one. It's like one unit. You bracket it. You don't have to call that in relationship to E flat 7 minor 7 flat 5 or 2 minor 7 in relation to 6 minor. It's simply 2, 5 of the 1. Very simple. And the scale wise, there's a lot of different ways to approach. Let's go a couple. The melody, which was the melody has that. So it has sharp 9, flat 9, 1. So they're telling you right there, I mean, this, in jazz, what you do is you approach by modal interchange. In traditional pop, folk, rock, whatever else you want, classical, there's a different system by implying harmony. So in pop or traditional harmony, you take that chord when it says G7, 1, 3, 5, 7. That's what you think it says, right? So you'd add tensions from the implied key of the moment, which would be E flat major or 6 minor. Then those tensions would be from E flat major to be A flat, C, E flat, because so we end up with C harmonic minor, which is the traditional. That's how they got harmonic minor in the first place. They took 1, 4, 5 used to be minor and put the leading tone on the C for minor, and that ended up with the dominant chord. So Latin. Anyway, 1, 4, 2, 5, 1. It's not. There's no D in the chord. There's no D. So when they put sharp 9, flat 9, and 1, that's telling you they want altered. If you were playing off harmonic minor, you'd have flat 9 and flat 13, but they have sharp 9 in it, which means it has to come from melodic. So that's altered 7th degree of that A flat melodic minor, but just it's a 5 chord, and we're doing a modal interchange. Instead of having 5 from harmonic minor or just G7, we're making that an altered chord. That's basically what the melody tells you the chords are. When it modulates to 2, 5, and D flat, that's what it is. 2, 5 thought of as one unit going to the new key D flat major. The way it gets there is that we're in relative minor. Many times a new section of tune goes to, if you're in relative minor, or if you're in minor, you go to relative major. If you were in major, you go to relative minor for a bridge or second. But what Joe Henderson does is, we're in relative minor, he goes to root motion to what would have been relative major, makes that a 2 minor Dorian, 2, 5 to 1. Dorian, Mixolydian 1. That's what it implies. The melody plays off that. When you start soloing, you can do whatever you want. And then, again, our 2, 5 of original F minor. C minor, sorry about that. So the scales wise again are Aeolian, same collection of notes but starting on F, which is Dorian. For the 5 chord, there's no C or D. G7 altered and 1. That's what the melody and the if you're looking at it in a jazz, that's what it implies. Like I said, it doesn't, if you use traditional classical, pop, rock, harmony, you'd come up with harmonic minor, which is wrong, basically. It works most of the time. Most times you can do that stuff. The only difference, neither one of them is wrong. The difference is when you hear a guy playing or getting his attention that way, you know he's not a jazz player. He comes from a traditional degree, which I have a traditional degree from 50 million years ago. I'm ancient, but it's a different way. Jazz is not looked at that way. That harmonic system, the way it played, was developed many years ago. Jazz is a fairly new system, and it uses a new modal interchange of coming up with different harmonies. So comping-wise, solo, usually your first time through, you make a reference to the melody. There's two types of ways to solo, and you can play a melodic line. You're trying to say something once through the whole thing, and each time you play that, you try to say it a little more clear or express more what you're trying to do. And you do that through, or you can develop it. You can use that through variation. There's a million ways to develop. You can add reharmonizations of it. So you try to, and hopefully you get to a point where you're saying what you want to say. Another way to solo is you take independent ideas and connect them on the spot with other independent ideas, and that's kind of what improv is all about. So when you could make that Dorian, make it a major 6, make it melodic, you can make that melodic minor where you want. Improv is very open, but let's just stay with where I started. It's pretty simple analysis. Did I forget anything? 1, 4, 5. You know, that at one point I might make that for 1 when you go to 4. When you go to the 2, 5, or 1, that's a dual function chord, and it's functioning by way we just did the analysis of it. Also has function of it could be the 2 of relative minor, or if you think a key, that's a 2, the 7 chord. So it's a dual function chord. A lot of guys, if you look at it, you might say, "Well, this is local," which it does work great, but that it's really thought of as part of that. You don't really label that as, if you're doing an analysis, you'd put 1 minor, 4 minor. You wouldn't put 2 minor 7 flat 5 if you're relating to C, or if you're going to E flat 7 minor 7 flat. You just bracket that with the 5 chord and call it 2 5 of 1. I guess that's pretty much it. I'll try and play through it later. I have 2 gigs today, and I'm supposed to play another late one tonight. Last night was brutal, but I'll try to do it tomorrow. Thanks.